Hello, everybody. Welcome back to LettermenRow.com. I am Jeremy Birmingham, and this is Birminology. Today, we are talking to Ohio State 2023 defensive end target AJ Hoffler, one of the country's more interesting and offered prospects in the class of 2023 from the Atlanta area, and a player that has been to Ohio State twice, has made no bones about his opinion about the Buckeyes and how much he values the relationship he has with them. I want to talk to AJ about that relationship, the reasons that he's holding off on a commitment at this point, and more. Let's get to it. As promised, AJ Hoffler, Woodward Academy, Atlanta, Georgia, is joining us now. AJ, thanks for taking the time to join us. How are you doing?
I'm good. I just got to my hotel in Orlando on my spring break right now.
You know, it's crazy how early spring break happens for you guys, but it's also interesting as someone in your position, you have to sort of choose between spring break with the family or college visits and how you make all these things work. Are you sneaking in any visits in Florida while you're down there?
No, I'm just keep staying with my dad, making sure I spend quality time with him. Then right when I get back, going back on the road and stuff, that's why I made sure that I was I'm trying to focus at least on as little as I can on recruiting for like the next week or so. Just focus on like having fun, relaxing, and then right when I get back, cranking it back up again.
Well, let's fast forward. When you get back home and you're going to be exhausted because all vacations are more tiring than they should be.
Yeah.
What schools are on the immediate docket for you to get out and see when you get back?
Right now I have Ohio State set up on March 26th. That's all I have for right now. Actually, tomorrow, this is probably the only recruiting thing I'm going to do is I'm setting up the rest of my visits. But right now, the only one I have set up is going back up to Ohio State on the 26th.
So Ohio State, you've been there twice. This will be your third visit. You're making this trip to Ohio State with a couple teammates. Do you feel like at this point you're sort of the ambassador for those guys? I mean, the Ohio State staff is talking to you about these younger players. You got a couple 2024 players, linebackers that are visiting up there with you. And what do you think that you can tell these other guys about Ohio State that has made the school so enticing to you?
Well, personally, just like the genuineness of the coaches, like the consistency, like they're not gonna say one thing and not do it. They don't, and also like they don't get to experience it because they're not juniors yet. But like the texting and calling, they don't like blow your phone up. They give you your space. They respect you. If you say you have to do something, they'll understand it. And like in person, they're all genuine. They always have a lot of energy, and they know what they're doing because they have years of experience.
AJ, you are a 6'5" 250-pound defensive end. How many scholarship offers do you have?
Right now I'm at 49. I just got Clemson yesterday.
49 offers. Clemson. You spent last Tuesday, the first day of the contact period. You went to Georgia, correct?
Yeah.
Georgia has not offered yet. And that's one of the few that hasn't. You have all these options. You've been to Ohio State twice. You've in no way hidden your affection for Ohio State. You've told everyone who will listen that they're the favorite at this point in your recruitment.
Yeah.
What keeps you from just saying, okay, you know what, I'm done. I'm ready to go. I'm on a commitment.
I think it's just I want to take my official visits and see what other schools have to offer because I know where I stand with Ohio State and how they feel about me. So I just want to see like every other school stacks up and just make sure I'm not rushing anything. Make sure I explore all my options.
Is there one or two things that other than I know you already mentioned the genuine nature of the coaches there, but are there one or two things that you've seen at Ohio State that you were like, wow, that's something that every other school needs to match?
I say probably the recovery systems they have stuff. I can't even name some of the things that they have. Like they have like cryotherapy, some type of LED bathtub thing, like some sauna. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff that I've seen there that I haven't seen anywhere else. And then I say like the I don't know. I guess that's all I can think of right now on the spot. But it's that's probably the main thing, like the recovery thing, how they take care of the players on and off the field.
Let's go back if we can a little bit. When you got offered by Ohio State, you had told me at the time and a couple other folks that that was a dream offer for you. And I know, again,
Yes,
you're a
sir.
guy, you're in Georgia. Everyone expects the Bulldogs are in that same conversation as well if they were to offer. But how did a kid from Georgia end up feeling that way about Ohio State as long as you have?
It's just like Coach Johnson and like the players he's been able to produce, like Chase Young, Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, Haskell Garrett, Tyreek Smith, Zach Harrison, all of them. Getting to get guys like JT Tuimoloau, Jack Sawyer, and like the track record he has not only at Ohio State but at Penn State as well. And like he coaches different than every other coach. And then Ohio State's consistently a top school in the country on the football field, and they have great academics as well.
You know, we've talked about it before, and Larry Johnson, and you said that one of the reasons you were going to wait to make a final decision, or because you wanted to see him coach a little more in person. How
Yeah.
important is it for you to be up there on March 26th to see that taking place on a practice field where you actually are able to be close to it?
That's very important. I was talking to my dad, like, at this point, I'm not visiting Ohio State to see the facilities. No, I'm just going to, like, get to know Coach Johnson better, get to know Coach Knowles better, Coach Day, just like to see the coaches, like, coach, and even get to talk to some of the players more. So I talked with Jack Sawyer and Paris Johnson last time. So talk with some more, talk to them in depth. It really gets just to see like what Coach Johnson's like coaching. I've seen videos, but everything's different in person. So
You know, the last time you were on campus was the weekend of January 11th in Ohio State. At that time, had just replaced a defensive coordinator. They had just replaced two other coaches on defense. Well, you weren't even there really getting a chance to meet these new coaches because everyone was still shuffling in and out. They were on the road with recruiting, moving their
yeah.
houses, et cetera. But you were one of four people that were there visiting that weekend, and it was Will Smith Jr., Luke Montgomery, Malik Hartford, and yourself. And, you know, what did it say to you knowing that Ohio State had you there that weekend with these three guys who were in-state prospects? Two of them have already committed at this point. Did it seem to you that that was one of those defining moments in this recruitment?
Yeah, I know that. I feel like I've been more of a priority for them, especially the past since that visit. Because like before, Coach Johnson, he would text me like I would text him before everything to call him. He send like maybe one ed, but now it's like I get an edit a week. He texts me all the time. We call like once or twice a week. He's asking me to send him like training clips. When I send him, he's like giving me little pointers. He sends me it's called Technique Tuesday. He sends me videos of the practices. He texts my parents all the time. So I think it showed that I'm more of a priority for them now that they have gotten those two commits. So it was really important. And I got to meet with the head coach for like 10, 15 minutes. So I don't know how everyone gets to do that.
No, I think as you start to look ahead here, AJ, how do you see yourself in a defense? Again, at this point, you're 6'5", 250-ish, but you could potentially grow into like a 3-tech if you put on 30 pounds when you get to college like a lot of guys do. Are you interested in moving inside, or do you feel like your best future is on the edge?
Oh, well, something funny. I'm actually 235 right now.
Oh, so
So
the profiles are lying.
yeah, the highest I was 245, and I lost like maybe 20 pounds over the season. I'm like 235 now, and I'm not like last year. I was a little bit fatter. You can kind of tell like the profile pic on Rivals. I'm kind of fat, but now it's all muscle. So I think I'm probably most likely going to develop into staying at end, more of a hybrid like dropping the coverage a little bit, depending on how Coach Knowles sees me. That's what he said. He sees me as more of a swing guy, like and dropping the coverage type of guy. But yeah, I kind of see myself as an end in college.
Yeah, I know that you mentioned you talked to Larry Johnson a lot, and you just dropped Jim Knowles' name. So, how much conversation have you had with Jim Knowles, and what has that impression been like for you and your family?
I haven't talked with him. I haven't talked with him since the visit, but when I was on the visit, I had a meeting with him for like 30 minutes. I talked. He was me. It was me, him, and my mom. We talked about what he did at Oregon State, the defense that he's going to be bring, or not the not he's not changing the defense really that much, but what he's going to be running, like where he sees me, how he's going to teach things like tackling, stunts, how he breaks down film. And he included my mom in a bunch of things, like made me show my mom how to tackle, how to do certain things. So it was kind of cool, including my mom. So from that conversation I had with him, he's a cool guy. I'm excited to see how he does this year, how the defense grows.
Did they talk to your mom about offering her a scholarship? I mean, did she learn the technique?
No, she was kind of confused. She was like, I don't even think she knew what a TFL was, but he made me explain everything to her: a tackle, 3-4, 4-3, a 5 technique, a TFL, a sack, all those things. So I think she left smarter football wise than she entered the meeting.
Well, as you look ahead here, you got this spring break coming up, and then, as you said, the Ohio State visit will take place 2 weeks after that. Has anything changed in your mind? Do you still feel like you have to wait until the summertime for your official visits? Or I'm not trying to put you on the spot, AJ, but like, is there a thought in your head where you say, hey, you know what? Maybe I don't need to take other visits. I can just commit then. I mean, is that even in the back of your head at all?
Not necessarily that, but I say one thing is I had maybe 10, 11 visits on my like I have a notes list of the schools I wanted to visit through when like April ends. I've cut that list down to maybe like 5 schools now because I just realized like I know what I'm looking for in a school, so it's not that much. I don't need to see every school in the country anymore. It's just like the schools are really important to me at this point. So I kind of have like cut the list down of the schools I know I'm considering, but right now, not. I don't think I'm gonna do anything before my official visits.
Elephant in the room, $1 million question. You were at Georgia last week. If Georgia offered you a scholarship tomorrow, what happens? How does your recruitment change?
Not much. I'm still having probably make like a top 3 right now. They'll probably be in it. Not top 3, like top 5. They'll probably be in it, but I don't think it would change much. I still have Ohio State as number 1, but they'll definitely be in my top 5.
What else? I mean, who else is on? I mean, we're here. Let's talk about it. You've cut that list down. What other schools are on it? I assume Clemson, after the offer from them over the weekend, that they're going to be one of those teams you want to get there and check out campus. Georgia's in that upper echelon group. Who else is still in there for you?
In that top 5, I probably have those 2, Georgia. I like to say Auburn and Northwestern.
Those are 5 very different schools. Northwestern is certainly a different type of program than the other 4. You don't consider it the football, side of things as much because they're such an elite academic school. But it's good to have options, right?
Yeah, that's the main reason why is the academics. I know it's something that I'm looking really close at as far as like the schools I'm considering as well as my parents. That's a big thing for them. So that's why I have Northwestern up there because they're probably the best, in my opinion, best of both worlds as far as they're not the best at football, but as far as really good academics, really good at football, I think they're the best at both.
And one thing that, I mean, not that we're here to talk about Northwestern, but I'm gonna go down the path because we're talking about it. But if you look at Georgia, Dan Lanning left, Clemson, Todd Bates goes to Oklahoma with Brett Venables. Georgia, like I said, they lose their defensive coordinator. Ohio State has 3 different coaches on defense. Auburn, there was all this off-season drama. Northwestern, you at least know Pat Fitzgerald's not going anywhere for as long as you're alive, probably, right?
Yeah, that's one thing. Them and Clemson, I like a bunch. Even though they lost the D coordinator and D line coach at Clemson, I don't think Dabo Sweeney for most parts going anywhere. He's like maybe 50. He's won like 6, 7 ACC championships. Is always top 25. So I don't think he's going anywhere. I know Northwestern, they're not. Their whole staff is pretty much locked in. So those are two things I like about those schools as well.
Well, like I said, man, it's great to have options, and it's also great to be on vacation. So I'm going to let you get to that. Enjoy your spring break. We'll see you in Columbus on March 26th. I thank you for taking time.
All right. Thank you.
No problem at all. That's AJ Hoffler. I'm Jeremy Birmingham. This has been Birminology on Lettermen Row. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.